Hey there, it's Stephanie with RevelationU. I hope you're doing well this new year, 2024. I can't believe it. I'm ready for it, I will say. Alex and I were just talking about on our last podcast episode that 2023 was a little heavy. And I don't know that I realized it until the end of 2023. So if you're interested in learning or hearing more about our story from 2023 and kind of how I felt like I needed to navigate it, and if it went well or if it didn't, check out our podcast on Spotify or actually wherever you get your podcasts. They're out there now. The podcast is Being Revealed with Stephanie and Alex. So yeah, I was just really sitting down today to do some 2024 planning for my business. And I sent out an email actually to the newsletter that I send out every other week to all the clients on my list. And we were talking about setting goals. And I will say that, setting goals is something that has kind of always been a challenge for me. Maybe it's not the goal setting, but the goal achieving. It's actually both, though, once you really take a look at it, because people who are more sensitive, highly sensitive, empathic, maybe even ADD, ADHD, do struggle with, or can struggle with goal setting and goal achieving. And like I said, they're pretty much all intertwined there, because we're trained to set goals from, a SMART goal perspective, right? And they're really external goals, right? We want this job. We want this amount of money. We want this partnership. Whatever it is, it's something that's external. We're reaching for it. And that's great. However, for people who are more sensitive, it's really good, and I think for everyone too, it's really great to set the goals with some feeling in mind, some feeling behind it. And that's because we really relate to how we feel, and we can get overwhelmed easily. We feel the emotions and the nuances of the energy systems that we're in, whether we're at work or at home, each environment is a little bit different, and we get caught up in those very easily. So when we set goals with how we want to feel in mind, what our purpose is in mind, all those things that really relate back to big picture thinking and feelings, how we want to feel, the emotions that we want to experience and cultivate in our lives, we're much more likely to take actions that allow us to achieve how we feel. So when it comes down to it, if we're trying to achieve a promotion or a set amount of money or whatever it is, it's because we want to feel a certain way, or we think that those items are going to help us feel a certain way that we want to feel, right? Whether that be respected, financially secure, loved, whatever it might be. We set goals because we want a certain feeling. All of us do, not just highly sensitives. But when we set out with goals in mind to feel a certain way, we expand the opportunity for things to come in that will make us feel that way, that will support that feeling. So it's not just that job. It's not just the amount of money. It's not just the partnership. It's not just certain things. It can be anything. It can be anything, because we are consciously aware of creating those feelings in our life and inviting them in. Very cool. So, question for you. What do you do about resolutions? Do you set resolutions? Do you set goals? Do you set intentions? What is it that you do for the start of the year? If anything, if you're like Alex, he's like, I can set goals and intentions any time of the year. So the new year starting doesn't really do much for me. I, on the other hand, and like a lot of my clients as well, really love the energy of the new year that surrounds the new year. It gives us that kind of burst of energy to start fresh. It just feels really good, right? And so if you're like us, and you can do this any time of the year, if you're more like Alex and who likes to do things throughout the year or whenever it pops up, you can incorporate these ideas and these concepts any time of the year. But if you're someone who's doing it right now, what does that look like? What are you doing? What are you thinking of? What would you like to explore this year? What's on your agenda for 2024? And if you're someone who needs a little help with creating goals that feel achievable in the sense of feeling and purpose and all those wonderful things that we just talked about, we do have a course out there online, and you can check it out at RevelationU.com. You can just go to learn, and there are courses out there so you can check it out and learn a little bit more about that. But I'd really like to learn what your goals and objectives are for this year, and also, how do you feel about resolutions, intentions, goal setting? Are you more like Alex, or are you more like me and some of my other clients? Let us know. I hope you're doing well. Happy 2024.